Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at an item tier list. I had someone request this. I thought it was a pretty good idea, so I thought we'd take a look, and who knows when the new patch is coming. I mean, I feel like it should have been here 2 weeks ago or more, so I have literally no idea. I don't think anyone does. Maybe, I'll release this video and it'll drop like tomorrow or something like that. But, so who knows how relevant this will stay, but we can just take a look. As you see, there's A through D tier. I have S tier and F tier hidden, so you have to watch the video to figure out which items are best. Maybe you can guess those. I thought would be a good way to do it. But first, we'll just take a look at A tier. Basically, you have BKB and Blink, and these items are just bought all the time. Like, BKB is just so good, you just buy it all the time. Same thing with Blink. Like, if you're an initiator or something like that, you buy Blink all the time. Same thing with Force Staff and Glimmer Cape. These are like quintessential support items. And actually, I put Holy Locket up here as well, because if you are a healer, I feel like this item has gotten to the point where now, if you heal, if that's something you do, buying this item, you buy it like a lot, like almost every game. That's not necessarily the case, and it's not always good. Maybe I could have put it in B tier here, but it has been buffed a lot, and it's like really, really good if you're healing, especially on like Winter Wyvern. You buy this item, and you can heal someone all the way to full HP with like one ability, which is insane. And then we have Yasha and Kaya here. Those are just, I think they're one of the only, if you just look here, it's like these, and then we have Hood here, and maybe like Maelstrom. There's very few like things that build into other things, just because I wanted it to be like just the last items, not any little items, because those are kind of hard to rank. But these are just unique in their way that they get bought for various reasons. So I just think they're really good because they're bought like every game on some hero. If you're agility hero, you're buying this a lot because you're getting S and Y, or you're getting Manta or something like that. Same thing with Kaya. So I just put those in there. And then next I would have Wand. Maybe I should have put Wand over here, because Wand is bought like every game on like every hero, unless you're just farming, AFK farming like a carry like Medusa or something. You might not buy Wand, but even then you might still want it if you're fighting a lot or something happens, or you with a Medusa you can restore a lot of mana and health with that. So it's just one of those things that it's bought like every game on almost every hero. And then we have Kaya and Yasha together, and I think that's pretty good, because now when you buy, or you're a hero that buys Kaya, you're buying this instead of Bloodstone like every time. That's why I have Bloodstone all the way down here. So that's why I put it up there, is because if you buy Kaya, you're probably just putting the Sange with it and getting this instead of Bloodstone. And then we have Scotty up here. I think Scotty's just one of those items that's like really, really good right now. It's still so good. If you, just with the HP and everything it provides, if you are a hero that buys Scotty, you like want to buy Scotty as like a third item or something like that. You buy it a lot on a lot of heroes. So that's pretty much our A tier. Next, we'll just go to B tier, and we'll just do these real quick. Oh yeah, I forgot Treads. Just to mention Treads, with the B tier, we have pretty much every other boot here. I think Treads is just better. It's just the best boot right now. You have the 2 support boots. They're about even. You have phase boots here, which I think could maybe even be lower, because like almost no one's buying phase boots, but Treads is just better right now. And then you have even Boots of Travel. It's not like an amazing spot like it used to be, but it's not like terrible right now, especially with the amount that TPs cost. So I think it's right in there. Maybe I would put, phase down a little bit, or even Boots of Travel up a little bit or something like that. But that's, I think, with the boots here. And then B tier in general, these are all items that I think like are really pretty good. Maybe I would put Orchid down here actually in C tier. But these are items that like are bought every game on someone almost. I mean, you have Ether Lens for supports. You have, if you're an Armlet builder, you build Armlet. AC is like so good on so many heroes just because of what it gives. Diffusal Blade has been buffed, so it's pretty good if you're a Diffusal Blade builder. Gem is just so good because there's not very many sentries now. And then you have like Daedalus damage item. Orchid, I think, is Orchid should probably be in C tier, but we'll just keep it there for now. You have like Hood and Pipe. You have Satanic, which is really good now, that has a Dispel, and defensive items and these kinds of things. You just have a lot of good, basically, items that you're going to buy if you like can afford it. If it's later in the game, if you're a hero that likes to buy that, you're going to buy these items. And that's why I think they're in B tier. C tier, on the other hand, are like a lot of items that you may buy, but you don't necessarily, it's not like an automatic buy if it gets to that point in the game or something like that. Like, Blade Mail can still be good, Butterfly can still be good. All these items can be good. It's just that you might not want to buy them because they're very situational. Like, if you're this specific kind of hero, or it's a specific kind of game, like you have a Morphling, or playing against a Morphling or something, then you want to buy this. If you, maybe you just need damage, so you're buying this Deso. And then you have like Manta here because Manta is just the worst of the two in terms of SNY and Manta. But sometimes you need the Manta because you need to dispel things and all that kind of stuff. So I think these are all just items that are like pretty good, but like you don't buy them all the time. Same thing with like raindrops here. And then we have the three smaller items like the strength, int, and agility items here that you buy for the laning stage. And I put them in C because a lot of times you see people these days not even completing the like buying the recipe to complete the components. A lot of times they'll just sell them and they'll go straight for other things. That's why I put them in C tier, because you do buy them occasionally. They're not like awful. They're not D tier, but they're just not that good right now, and you don't buy them all the time. And so that's pretty much what these are. And then D tier is pretty much these items are kind of bad. I would maybe I'd put Maelstrom up here in C tier. Yeah, I probably should put Maelstrom up here in C tier, but regardless, and then yeah, like Orchid down here in C tier, I probably would mix those two up. But like all these items, like you just rarely see. Like here we have what is this? Yasha and Kaya. Like you never buy this because you always are gonna want Sanj because it's just so good right now. And same thing with like Bloodstone. Like maybe you're gonna buy this once. I don't know, every once in a while, but very rarely. Same thing with like Heart and everything. Yeah, I think Maelstrom should go up here and Orchid should go down here now that I'm thinking about it. But like even Mech is not that great right now. You don't see a lot of people buying Mask of Madness. Rapier, like it's not as good as it once was. Just all these items, like you could buy them, but people rarely do. But I don't think they're like the worst thing ever. So now I think it's good we can go up and see the S tier. You probably guessed the S tier. But yeah, Aeon Disc, it might even be removed from the game. That's how good it is. But no, it's just like so good. It's probably going to get nerfed into the ground because it's just so good. Like it prevents so many heroes from being viable. Like basically this item alone makes Faceless Void like impossible to play. I feel like if I play Faceless Void, the enemy team just buys this item and it's just like, well, I guess my hero's useless now. Like it's so hard to play. And then you have Bottle. Bottle's just so good now because of all the runes. Like, if you are a mid hero and you sometimes didn't buy Bottle, you buy Bottle now. Like, Bottle's just so good. It's like one of the best items in the game. A lot of heroes are even saving up a lot of starting gold just to buy Bottle and get it quicker so they can get it before the 2-minute mark and they can get all those charges out and those kinds of things. And that's actually kind of similar if we look at Vanguard. Like, Vanguard is one of those items that people are just skipping like starting items just to rush a faster Vanguard in the off lane. So it's like a similar kind of thing. And then we have the Sange and the Sange and Yasha, which is just like the Sange is, Sange, whatever. It's just so good right now because of the status resistance that like S and Y is just amazing. Like if you can buy this and you don't need Manta, you are buying this, like you are buying this item 100%. And then obviously we have Dragonlance here. It's just such a good item for certain heroes. Like a lot of heroes you see are building this item and then like first item just because it's so good because of the tankiness, the stats, everything it gives is just really, really good for heroes like Medusa or TA. All of the really good heroes are like buying this right now. And a lot of times, honestly, they just like sell this and they don't even build into Pike, which is why Pike is C. Now sometimes, you know, Pike, you will build into it, but honestly, a lot of times they just buy it for the early game and eventually just get rid of it. That's how good this item is and how like not really good Pike is. So that's the S tier items. I think most people would probably agree with that just because, you know, these are being bought so much and then Sange here is just like so good. Same thing with Vanguard and everything. Even the Vanguard got nerfed and it's still so good. This is the only thing that gives status resistance really. So it's just so good. That's the S tier. And now we can zoom out. Let's just do this. And we have the full list. We have F tier here. And we are going to have the first item is Abyssal Blade. You might disagree with this, but I think just with the nerf that it had, and now it's like melee range. And I've heard some streamers and some people talk about this, that they think that actually Abyssal Blade was not only just nerfed from where it was, but it was nerfed from where it was previously. Like it had a blink component, and before that, it felt like you didn't have to be right on top of them. Like you could be kind of close to them, like melee range, but you could have some range in between you and still use Abyssal Blade. Now it feels like you can be attacking them, especially if you have some other kind of like what is that neutral item that gives you like increased range, whatever it is, the little broomstick or whatever it is, broom handle, whatever. you could be attacking them and you still can't even use Abyssal Blade because it's like not close enough. You have to be like right on top of them. Your model, like your hero model, has to be touching almost. It's kind of insane. It almost feels like the range is 0 rather than melee. So it just feels so bad, and it's so expensive too. Before it was so expensive, but you had that blink component. It was just such a good item. But now where it is just so bad. And so that's F tier for Abyssal Blade. Then we have drums. No one is buying drums. I remember when they nerfed drums like the last time, and people were still buying it because, like, I don't know, they bought it in the previous patch, and I was like, no, this is going to stop because drums is so bad. It's just such an awful item. It's so expensive, and it does, like, nothing for you. It gives you almost no stats. It gives you almost no anything, really, and then just has some charges, and then they, like, run out. And so it's still, like, one of the only items that does that. Like, the Fusible Blade used to do that, but it doesn't do that anymore. Now drums is, like, one of the only ones, and it just feels so bad. It's kind of one of these things that, like, it's either F tier or it's, like, S tier because it's one of those things that you either buy it all the time or you just, like, never buy it because it's terrible. It's very rarely, like, in the middle. But, yeah, that's drums because I think it was so good for so long now. It's just crap. And then we have Dagon or Dagon or whatever you want to call it. Dagon, like, 1 through 5. This item is terrible. Like, it's just so bad. It's just bad for competitive. It's just not worth it. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like more of a meme build. Like, if you just go like Dagon 5 and Ethereal Blade to, like, blow people up or something. I mean, it could work. It's kind of memey, but it's just like this. I don't know if you can even really balance this item. It's just, like, always going to be F because if it is good enough, it's going to be too good. And that's just going to, like, blow everybody up. And then we have Midas here. Like, basically this item is trash. Do not buy Midas. Like, don't ever buy this item. We have Meteor Hammer here. Meteor Hammer is just not very good. Like, was situational in a few heroes, but it's really not that great. We have Veil, which people are never buying Veil. People are never buying Vlad's. Like, they're never buying it because these items are just so bad. The way they build up and what they do for your team and those kinds of things are just terrible. And actually, I think for whatever reason, the Battle Fury, like, got deleted here. But I think Battle Fury is, like, in C tier here. Like, I would have put Maelstrom up here, and Battle Fury should probably be, like, right around here. I just noticed that because I think, like, it, like, glitched or something because Battle Fury should be, like, right here. But so just keep that in mind. Many people are probably like, where's Battle Fury? Now I'd, like, mention it right at the end. But I think Battle Fury is, like, a C tier. I mean, it's not, like, the best, not the worst. But yeah, so that's my F tier. That's my S tier. This is my item tier list. If you disagree with that or you think things should be changed, I already said there was a couple things I should have tweaked already. Now that I'm looking at this again, like I said, that happens every time. Like, basically, you make a tier list, you go to record the video, you go to do something, you're like, maybe I should have switched these two things. You could do that forever. I could literally do that probably for hours. But this is my tier list for this patch. We'll see what happens in the future. I think a lot of these items are obviously going to get nerfed. Who knows if any of these will get buffed or what'll happen, if it'll be like a really big item change patch or if they'll remove status resistance altogether. Who knows? But yeah, that's my item list. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, what you think about it. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, all those things. It really helps. And like I said, as always, I'll see you in the next video.